Hey everybody, I am Jarrett Ross, the GeneaVlogger, and welcome back to Professional Genealogist Reacts. After the last three videos to test this series out, I got a great response from everybody, so I figured I'd start doing a lot more of these, especially because they're pretty easy to do. But, I'll still be doing my other videos, tutorials, interviews, as well as videos about my own genealogy research and other types of research. But on today's video, I will be reacting to Orphan Girl Takes a DNA Test, and that is by Echo Gillette. I've never seen her channel before, but hopefully this will be interesting. But before we get into it, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and also click that subscribe button and hit that bell so that you get notifications whenever new videos come out. So let's go ahead and start watching.
Hello, my name is Echo. So my DNA is a little bit of a mystery to me because I am a sad little orphan girl. My dad left my family when I was 2 years old, and then my mom died when I was 14, and the rest of my extended family has just kind of scattered throughout the universe. So I really don't know that much about, like, my genetic history. So I did that stupid YouTuber thing that YouTubers do, where I just ask science to tell me who I am.
YouTubers
I believe in the power of science. On my dad's side of the family, I believe that he's, like, pretty white, but my mom's side of the family is pretty much completely Hispanic. I grew up in a Spanish-speaking household. I grew up eating very traditionally Hispanic foods.
Interesting note, the first language that I ever spoke was Spanish. Just kind of random, but yeah.
Apparently, when I was really little, I used to speak Spanglish. I've been told from different members of my family that I am Spanish on my mom's side, like from Spain Spanish, but also that we are native Mexican, so like Mexican Indian. So I really don't know. I sincerely do not know what the heck I am. And today, we're gonna find out, solving the mystery of the sad little orphan girl. At this point, both of my parents are dead, but science is helpful. So
I imagine she's going to have.
We're just gonna do that stereotypical YouTuber thing and find out what exactly.
I imagine she's going to have a pretty good mix if she has both a European background as well as a Mexican ancestry. Probably going to be a lot of different types of European, as well as what she was saying, some Native American, some indigenous American. So
I am on the inside. Science is great. Let's go, science.
Yay, science!
All I have to do is click a button.
I hope she goes into her genetic matches, because if she was an orphan and is trying to find her family, then that's really what's going to help her find her family.
Reports, traits, 19 reports, wellness, 8 reports, DNA relatives, click to participate. These reports are a fun way to learn about how your DNA influences your physical appearance, preferences, and physical responses. The predictions are based on current knowledge of how genetic factors influence our traits. Cheek dimples, likely no dimples. I have none. Cleft in chin, likely no cleft. I do not have one. Earlobe type, detached. That one's right.
I've never really gone through the, I've looked through my results for this, but, well, technically it's not my results. My sister's the one who did 23andMe. I didn't really feel like doing 23andMe because she was already on there.
Hair curliness, wavy.
But yeah, I've never really looked at that much.
Light skin. Yep. It says likely can't taste bitterness. I definitely can. I want to get some of those bitter taste test strips because I'm pretty certain that I actually do have, like,
I did that. I'm actually a super taster.
Likely to not taste certain bitter those little 65% of customers who are genetically similar to you do not taste certain compounds as bitter. I can taste the bitterness in cilantro that a lot of people can't taste, and because of that, I really hate it. Vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts contain certain bitter compounds that only some people can detect. Likelihood that I have red hair, a 1% chance.
Well, I know that I have red hair.
Naturally, though, I do not grow red hair.
I do. I love the aesthetic that she has, that red-black aesthetic, especially with the background and everything. I've always kind of liked red and black, or like turquoise and black, or I don't know if you've noticed in a lot of my videos, I like to wear a lot of black shirts or dark shirts.
So. This. It is not Maybelline. There's a third chance that I could have lighter eyes. I don't, but still, it's kind of cool. Cheek dimples. This one's almost half and half, which is kind of funny because I don't have cheek dimples, but I do have dimples.
So this is basically simplified versions of what's known as phenotyping. Sort of. Phenotyping is basically a way of kind of taking someone's DNA and getting a general snapshot idea of what they look like. So, figuring out hair color, eye color, skin color, things of that nature. So this is kind of that similar thing.
Ooh, I am a mix. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, this is so weird and really fascinating.
Oh wait, oh.
Okay, so apparently I'm mostly.
Let's go back.
I am a mix.
See what her percentages
okay,
are.
that makes sense. Oh, this is.
There we go. Okay. So the overview percentages: 77.4% European, 17.4% East Asian and Native American, 1.6% Middle Eastern and North African, Oceanian, which is going to be like Australia, New Zealand, and then 3.7% unassigned.
This is so weird and really fascinating. Okay, so apparently I'm mostly European, which makes sense because Spain is also like in Europe, so even if I am like half Spanish, that's still European. That's so cool. Okay, let's break this down.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's
see the
go ahead
breakdown.
And start by looking at the European sections. So it looks like most of my European ancestry
let's see what
is
she
from
says
Northwest
first.
Europe, British Irish, French and German, Scandinavian, and broadly Northwestern European. That's fascinating. Tiny bit of Jewish, broadly European. Let's have a look at the East.
All right, yeah, let's go back real quick. Let's see. Northwestern European, British and Irish, French and German. Yes, I mean she's a real good mix. More than likely, most of that Northwestern European is coming from the European side of her family, and then the Southern European, the Iberian, and broadly Southern European, that could actually be from the Mexican side of her family. The Eastern European, the Ashkenazi Jewish, you'll probably get a lot of people saying that could be indicative of Sephardi ancestry, especially if she has Mexican ancestry, and that is very possible. There were a lot of people who have proven that they have Jewish ancestry and they have hundreds of years of documentation of their family in Mexico pretending to be Catholic or at least living as Catholic. So that's where that could actually be coming from. Interestingly enough, I wonder if she'll mention any of that going forward. But let's see
that's fascinating.
what her Asian
Jewish,
side is. Her Native American, really.
The East Asian and Native American. Sure enough, 16%.
So yeah, Native American. The East Asian is probably just a misread of the Native American. So it's that trace result.
That's kind of cool. What is Oceania? Including indigenous people of Papua New Guinea and Malaysia? This is cool. You most likely had a great-grandparent or second great-grandparent who was 100% British and Irish. This person was likely born between 1870 and 1930. You most likely had a second great-grandparent, third great-grandparent, or fourth great-grandparent, or fifth great-grandparent who was 100% French and German. You most likely had a third, fourth, fifth, or sixth great-grandparent who was 100% Native American, and likely born between 1950 and...
Now this chart that she's looking at right here, it's actually giving basically an estimation of the possible closest relative. But I think I've said this in some of the other reactions I did, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that actually is when you had your most recent, like for her most recent Native American ancestor. What it could be is that she has much more distant Native American ancestors, but it's multiple of them from different lines. So, it could be from, one line through her grandfather and one line through her grandmother, but it's, way back to her fifth or sixth great grandparents who were living in the 1600s or something like that. So these charts are very basic estimations. So an inference, a hypothesis, basically. So don't take these to heart, but they are nice to look at and do give a good idea for the most part.
And 1840. That is pretty cool. Oh, that means that I am exactly what I thought I was, which is really cool. Generally, I always tell people that on my mom's side, I'm half Spanish, half Mexican, just as kind of like a general encompassing abbreviation of what I am. And it seems like based on this, that actually makes sense, because a quarter of my European is around Spain. Iberian. Yeah, that's Spain.
Yep.
Oh, that's so cool.
I always find it kind of interesting. A lot of people don't know that Iberia is Portugal and Spain, the Iberian Peninsula. So
let's have a look at my maternal haplogroup. You descend from a long line of women that can be traced back to Eastern Africa over 150,000 years ago. These are the women of your maternal line, and your maternal haplogroup sheds light
Interesting.
Their story. Your maternal haplogroup is A2H. A2H is relatively uncommon among 23andMe customers, 1 in 1100. I have 266 Neanderthal variants. Your DNA family. Learn about your DNA relatives, the diverse group of 23andMe customers who have DNA in common.
Now this is where it's going to be interesting, because if she doesn't know who her actual parents are or doesn't know who her family is, then this will tell her.
1,046 DNA relatives in your 23andMe DNA family. This is really cool. Locations of your DNA relatives. Not surprisingly, mostly Southwest. Maybe I'll reach out to them. We'll see. The wellness reports. The wellness reports directly relate to
she just kind of glossed over it.
Which is a bit more scary. Healthy habits for your genetics. Avoid fast food. Lol. I know I probably should, but I'm an 8-minute walk away from a Taco Bell, so that's not gonna happen. Emitting red meat.
It's so convenient. I try to stay away from fast food,
so I really don't eat red meat much to begin with. Sleeping a healthy amount. I don't do that. Eating vegetables. I feel like a lot of these are very straightforward, common sense things. I'm gonna discover myself, like the type 5.
So this was done January 30th, 2018. Scroll down so you can kind of see that in the video. I guess that's what, 2 years? Yeah, 2 years since. So her results may have changed a little bit since then.
I am. Figure out my place in the world. I want you to know that you're a beautiful human, and I love you, and I'm gonna give you 500 awesome points for making it through this.
Oh, cool! Video. 500 awesome points.
I'm gonna go make some more coffee, and hopefully I will see you guys later. Bye.
Very cool video. It's very interesting to see that, you know, even though she grew up as an orphan, she had a pretty good idea of what her ancestry was. The admixture seemed to match what she'd said. I would have been really interested to see her genetic matches. I can't remember if she said that she actually knew her parents, who they were, and then she was orphaned, or if she just had known kind of who they were. I'd have to look back at that again, but genetic matches, those are going to be the most important part in finding your family. You know, the admixture is really fun, the genetic traits are really interesting, and those are fun, and the health reports are interesting and can be somewhat insightful. But when it comes to, you know, someone who was adopted or orphaned, or someone who's trying to find lost branches of their family or just really expand their family tree, the genetic matches, the ancestral relatives, that's where you're going to find it. So it would have been interesting to see what she had. I wonder if she did go into that at all. I'll have to see if she did a follow-up video, and if she did, I'll probably react to that. But hopefully you enjoyed this video that I did. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. You can also click right about here if you'd like to subscribe. It's completely free to do so. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at GeneaVlogger. I'm the GeneaVlogger. I will see you in my next video.